Hi, welcome to HowtoDandD. My name is Fred Wheeler and today I want to talk about Dungeons and Dragons, but more I want to show you some of my Dungeons and Dragons miniatures. And as it happens, it's Dungeons and Dragons, so we're going to do with dragons. I have a whole bunch of dragons that fly that I thought I would show you. Some I have purchased, some I was given, some have been made for me, so it's a collection of all sorts of different pieces. Most of them are icons of the realms, for those of you who are wondering, but not all of them. Okay, let's start off with the very first one, and that is I thought I would start with one that I was given as part of a gift from some of the players who were playing at my table who thought that I was doing a really good job of dungeon mastering. Now this is a Dracolich. I don't know if, I know a lot of people look at it and think Dracolich or is it Zombie Dragon, but it's supposed to be a Dracolich as far as I can tell. I know that's what most of my friends were saying it was supposed to be. I give it a bit of a turn so you can see. The Dracolich is essentially the dragon who has gone through the process or ritual required to make them everlasting. Usually they don't perform it when they are really, really young, but they don't usually perform it when they're really, really old. It might take place sort of near the end of their life where they are sort of desperately trying to hang on to whatever spark of life they have. So that is the Dracolich that I have that's flying. I also have a rather large white dragon which Amel from Vagabond Games gave me, anticipating that I would be running. Now I do apologise for it's white. It's white on white, so it's kind of a bit hard to see. I totally understand that. If I flick off the lights, that might help, then it'll mess up everything. So hopefully as I turn it slowly, you'll be able to pick up the details. So this is a white dragon. It's supposed to be an adult white dragon, although I think some of the miniatures that Icons of the Realms put out they look more like an adult dragon, but they were supposed to be sort of an ancient dragon, and I don't think I'm terribly convinced that they were always an ancient dragon of any kind, because it didn't feel like they were big enough, particularly the ones that were flying. Well, that's my view anyway. So this is the dragon that Amel, I had to thank him because I didn't have to pay anything for it, gave to me so I could run. I believe it was the last encounter of Horde of the Dragon Queen, where they face a white dragon. For those of you who are just been spoiled by Horde of the Dragon Queen, I do apologise, sorry about that. Okay, so next on our list of dragon miniatures, we get some small ones. This is supposed to be a copper dragon, and I'm just going to swing him around a little bit so you can see. If you're going to have a dragon and incorporate it in your game, it should always be flying, but the miniature doesn't need to be flying. I like the idea of a miniature on a pole to indicate that it is flying, because that's where a dragon should be. But some of these prongs, none have actually broken on me, but the concept behind the prong itself, it's really hard to store a dragon that's in flight. That's what I've found anyway. So that's the copper. I've got here, oops, sorry about that. I've got here a bronze dragon. Just chuck that on there. So this is my bronze dragon. Each one has sort of slightly different position, different facial expression, different structure to them. You know, every dragon sort of is made up slightly differently, which is, well, that's what you want, right? If you're going to have different types of dragons, they should look slightly different. And different pose, and sort of almost a different demeanour when you look at the different miniatures, based off the type of dragon they are. Here we go, there's the bronze. Get you out of the way. I've also got this is supposed to be, no, that's also supposed to be a bronze dragon, which doesn't look bronze at all. I'm not even going to bother putting that out, that's a waste of your time. But I do have a gold dragon. The gold dragon looks very sort of Asian or Chinese. Certainly the face, I feel like it's sort of taken a lot of design features from the art that you see of dragons from the Orient. And a longer tail, a bit more curled, and also sort of got that old man beard look, or the tendrils or tentacles sort of effect. Certainly looks very sort of Asian in design. And there's my gold dragon. Alright, we'll get rid of Mr. Gold Dragon, put Gold Dragon out of the way. We have a silver dragon, yes it is, because it's silver. There we go, one silver dragon. I'll just flip that round so you can have a good look. Here we go, just like that. Wings outspread, tail to the side. Looks like it's angry. There's two different families of dragon, right? There's the good dragons and the bad dragons, or the evil dragons. And I know what a lot of you are thinking is, Fred, you're showing us flying dragons, but do you have some of the larger dragons? Well, we'll see. We'll see if I produce them at the end, so that probably means I will. That is that one, and I also have a green dragon. This is... Green dragons always seem to look far more aggressive. This one looks like it's more ready to land on somebody and squash them flat, or at least put out its talons and pick them up and then drop them somewhere really, really painful. Or maybe just to chew on them as it's flying away, squashing them with the talons. I like the idea of picking up my player's characters with a dragon, flying off, having a bit of a gnaw or a munch on them, and while I'm munching and gnawing, find an appropriate place as I fly higher and higher in the up into the air, and before I drop them, and then go down and pick up a different player character and do the same thing again. Or by then, hopefully the breath weapon's all charged up and we can breathe some sort of toxic nastiness. Green dragons always poison breath, right? But fire is good, lightning is good. Anything that gives you a nice big cone is great. I think lines are sort of a bit of a drag, if you ask me. So those are the bulk of my flying dragons. I also have, and I have been saving it, and I thought I would show you. I don't even know if it's going to show up because it's a white miniature. This is the Pegasus, the flying horse. It's just whiting out, really, isn't it? Too much light, too much white. It's blending in. And we'll just spin it round. Okay, so now, what about larger flying dragons? I have some larger flying dragons, but I'm going to hide the scene for a second while I remove things. You're going to hear all sorts of strange noise. Ta-da! I'm just going to make everything disappear for a second. Don't freak out. I'm not gone. All I'm doing is moving things around because I need significantly more space to make this work. And I'm just moving my platform. There's no way I can show this to you on a platform that spins. And we will grab some of the larger dragons that I have. I have here a brass dragon. For those of you who want to see a flying brass dragon, I do actually have one. I'm going to have to hold it up. I don't know how well that's going to work, and I'm struggling to make it all work in terms of moving the mouse around and holding it in position, but we'll see how we go. Here we go. Alright, let's try it now. And flicking over. There we go. There it is. One brass dragon. I used this as a red dragon in my Isle of Dread campaign, where I had one living underneath the island, and the players decided they would go and check it out. And to be fair, I think they just aggravated the situation and annoyed the dragon, and so therefore I breathed fire on them many times. But this is not what this dragon does. I just decided it was close enough to a red dragon and I'll use that instead. For those of you who are wondering, do I have the colossal dragon, red dragon? No, I don't have the colossal red dragon. I do have this one though. Okay, so that's that one. I'm going to move this one out of the way and bring in the next one. And it's just flying away. There we go. So years ago, my brother did a lot of painting, and he was right into Warhammer, and he was painting all sorts of miniatures, and he gave me and painted up this particular miniature. I think I've shown it to people before. I believe there's a video on it somewhere. And this is a red dragon with its tail wound around a tree root or branch. I think it's basically part of a tree. This is a Warhammer miniature, Games Workshop. And this is supposed to be a red dragon. and it's pretty impressive. It's really fragile, so I can't really transport it anywhere. So if my game takes place in Helensville, where I live, great, but usually I don't pull it out. I think I've only pulled it out for a game once, and that was when they were coming to my place for the game. So yes, there it is, and it's flying away as well. Yeah. Last one. The last one I've shown off before, but since I'm doing flying dragons, I've got to include, here we go, it's the big mother. It's, now I don't have Bahamut, is it Bahamut? Did I say Bahamut? No. I don't have that particular miniature, but I do have Tamat. And somebody's probably going to say, Fred, you've just pronounced it incorrectly. I can't count the number of people who've given me like comments about how I should pronounce a particular miniature name. It's weird, but obviously it's very important to them. I've done a video on this as well, but I thought I'd at least show it off because we're talking about flying dragons, and this is definitely the mother of all flying dragons in terms of miniatures. I wouldn't say it's the best miniature that I've ever seen. I can think of a couple of others that I've seen that I liked the look of far more. I just don't have them. That's the only thing. So there it is. Tamat, the mother of all dragons, the queen of dragons. We'll just move her back there and just tilt her just a little bit so you can sort of see what's going on. So look, hopefully you enjoyed this or found it entertaining, or I don't know, just killed a bit of time. That's always good too. If you did, please share and like the video. If you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing to my channel. And make sure to hit the bell button to be notified when I go live or when I publish new videos. Oops, there goes a miniature down on the floor. Now, if you want to support me, by watching this video, you supported me. And by watching more of my videos, you will also support me, and I do appreciate that. Thank you very much. On top of that, I just want to say I don't plan to do Patreon, but you can buy stuff from my affiliate links down in the description from Amazon and the book depository. I get a small commission, you pay exactly the same price. And then essentially that helps support me doing more videos, which I will certainly do. Now, if you are part of the live stream, hang about because I will talk to you. And if you're not part of the live stream, that's what the comments section's all about. You can just go down in the comment section, type what you want. If it's worth my while to responding to, great. But tell me in the comments or even in the live stream, what is your favorite dragon? What is the most favorite dragon you have ever seen or done any sort of research on? I know dungeon masters do research on dragons. That's always going to happen. Okay. All right. So that's pretty much it. And hey, till next time, keep rolling those 20s.